Hey, movie lovers, this is Leo.
Mike.
And Kevin from Films and Fermentation.
If you love comedy, movies, and a good drink in hand, then you need to check out the Pod Nation Media Network.
It's home to a variety of amazing podcasts covering everything from pulp culture to history and, of course, movies like ours.
And the best part, Pod Nation Media Network is featured on Roku, so you can stream your favorite podcasts anytime.
Alongside Films and Fermentation, you'll find other fantastic shows like the KJ&A podcast, The Undiscovered Entrepreneur, Real Sharks, and so many more.
So grab a drink, press play, and join the fun with Pod Nation Media Network.
Because everything's better with a little comedy, movies, and booze.
Learn more by going to linktree.com/podnationpods.
Films and fermentation, movies and inebriation. Films and fermentation, comedy mixed with tasty libations. Films and fermentation, with Leo, Batman, and Mike.
The button.
I hit the button. There we go. We're good. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Films and Fermentation. Tonight is episode 227. It's been a while since we've done a recasting episode, and we decided to not only do a recasting, but to do a recasting of one of our films that time forgot. This was Kevin's film that time forgot, 2 film that time forgot ago. This is the last time Jack was on the show with us. And it was the 1990 crime caper Dick Tracy, based on the famous comic book. The movie starred Al Pacino, Warren Beatty, Madonna, and a lot of other people. So tonight we're going to be doing a recasting of that movie, Dick Tracy. So again, we are Films and Fermentation, movie and alcohol podcast, #1 beer podcast on Good Pods. I'm Leo.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Mike.
We're 3 friends like talk shit about movies while getting shit faced. Welcome back to Films and Fermentation, where questionable casting decisions are not only encouraged, they're the whole point. This week, we're recasting Dick Tracy, the comic strip fever dream that asked, what if every actor looked like a wax figure with a grudge? We're pulling the movie apart role by role to decide who should wear the yellow coat today, who gets buried under prosthetics, and who absolutely should not be allowed near a fedora. Expect bold choices, irresponsible confidence, and at least one casting pick that will make you yell at your speakers. So pour yourself something strong and join us as we commit cinematic heresy in the name of on-screen chemistry and fun. Don't forget to drop us an email at filmsandfermentation@gmail.com or visit linktree.com/filmsandfermentation. Find all of our social media podcast links. You can watch us on the Pod Nation Media Network on Roku. You can watch us on YouTube or on Rumble. We're an independent podcast, which means we are listener supported. So please consider joining our Patreon for as little as $1 a month to receive members-only content. For $1 a month, you get access to archived episodes, movie reviews, as well as for $3 a month, access to a couple of our web series that we have produced. You can buy our merchandise at teespring.com, or you can text us 904-867-4466. Speaking of texting us, I got a text the other night. Actually, it was last night, because it was not too long after the last episode aired, where we were talking about on-screen chemistry. Once again, folks, if you text me, please tell me who you are so I can give you a proper shout out. Because otherwise, it kind of comes through.
Who won? I'm sure. Because
do what my father does and sign your name at the end of the text. Even though I have him in my phone,
even though it's your
I
dad,
still get it. Yeah.
Love, Rick. So, this person who texted me anonymously gave me a few other ones that we missed on our chemistry bracket. A couple of these, I was like, yeah, we did miss these. Shit. Jerry Maguire. In particular, Cuba Gooding Jr. and Tom Cruise, not so much Tom Cruise and Renee Zellweger. Rocky for the villains versus hero one, with Rocky and Apollo Creed.
Okay.
Pulp Fiction, John Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson. And I was
Say
like,
what again, motherfucker?
motherfucker! Like that was a really good one. I was angry that I missed that one, and then that made me
Royale with cheese.
Royale with cheese. That made me sit and kind of think of some other ones because I was like, I definitely think I missed a few. So the Pulp Fiction one also made me think of Grease with John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John. Then I thought of The Notebook with Rachel McAdams and Ryan Gosling. That's like a Valentine's Day classic. I can't believe I forgot that one. Stripes, Bill Murray and Harold Ramis.
Mm-hmm.
And then another podcast that I like was talking about Midnight Run the other day, and I was like, "Fuck! How did I forget Midnight Run?" Robert De Niro and Charles Grodin, like that's a perfect chemistry pairing.
You forgot about Face Off.
Wait,
yeah, yeah. But are we talking about John Travolta and Nick Cage, or Nick
Yes.
Cage and John Travolta?
Yes, both ways.
You see, you said Midnight Run, and I was thinking Midnight Cowboy because I just saw.
Well, that's
flashes of
another one
that,
though.
and
'Cause
that's
it's
another
John
one.
Voight and
Dustin Hoffman. Mm-hmm.
You could also do Rain Man, Dustin Hoffman and Tom Cruise.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there were a lot that we missed on this. Again, folks, we're not experts. We're just three guys who like to get drunk and talk about movies. So, like, bear with us. Speaking of Nick Cage, I just saw the trailer today for Spider Noir coming to Amazon.
Spider
Prime.
Noir.
It looks pretty bad shit, which is par for the course for Nick Cage.
Yeah.
So let's talk about our drinks tonight. I'm going to go first because I was spurred by my envy for Mike's drinks last week. He was drinking the Three Philosophers. I was like, I want that now. So I went into my fridge tonight. I was all ready to pull out some Three Philosophers. And that's when I realized I drank them all already. God damn it. So I'm starting tonight with one that I still had in there from Christmas. And I think, Kev, I think you gave this one to me. Trogue's Mad Elf Grand Cru.
Yes.
Yes, this one is the ale that is brewed with honey and cherries, and it is 11% alcohol by volume, and it was held together by a cork and a one of those like metal tie things. That's what I was trying to yank out with my teeth prior to recording. So I said I'm over here trying to pull a cork out with a few teeth I have left.
That's a good thing you're off tomorrow.
Yeah, I am. Because I have another strong one ready for when this one's done. So one of you guys go next.
I don't mind going next, but mine's a little boring. I'm under the weather today. Took off from work.
So you're drinking.
I have a decaffeinated Big Bellow blackberry citrus tea with zinc because I need more zinc. And
I was going to say you're drinking a little NyQuil to see how long you can last before the show.
Pretty much, right?
Before you fall asleep.
Don't you know you're supposed to drink a hot toddy?
Hot toddy.
Yeah,
hot toddy. You could do a hot toddy tonight. Yeah, that would be good.
So, I've had a week, and I'm going to have tomorrow. So, I'm going something simple tonight. I'm going with Devil's Backbones, Bourbon Smash, Blackberry Lemonade.
Sounds good, man. Yeah, this Trogs is going to hurt me because I'm just started drinking it, and I'm like, God damn, this is like syrup. All right, let's play a song real quick.
Please do.
Here.
This week in film history with Mike. This week in film history with Mike.
In 1931, the original Dracula film starring Bela Lugosi as the titular vampire is released.
Never drink.
Aren't they redoing that soon? I mean, I know they just did Nosferatu, but aren't they redoing?
It just got released. It's in theaters now.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's a newer version of Dracula. It stars Christoph Waltz as Von Helsing.
What we need is another version of Dracula out there. Yep.
It's funny. Christoph Waltz was just in a new version of Frankenstein, playing a completely different character. So we did a recasting episode. We did a whole recasting episode on the Universal movie monsters way back in season 2. Our Halloween episode that year, we had on guests from the Recasting 2.0 pod. If you'd like to listen to that episode, it's available right now behind the $1 paywall on Patreon. Season 2, Halloween recasting. Next one, Mike.
1939, Stagecoach, Western film directed by John Ford and starring Claire Trevor and John Wayne, premieres in Miami.
Was this not John Wayne's first film?
It was probably his first starring role.
Okay.
He had
first
done other
major
things that
release.
were his first major role. I mean, he was like, secondary characters or whatever prior to that.
I've seen Stagecoach. It is an awesome film. One of the first really dangerous stunts on film in that film. The Native American character falls between the horses.
Yeah.
And rolls under the stagecoach. Like it's a really good movie. Next one, sir.
1940, first Tom and Jerry cartoon, Puss Gets the Boot, is created by William Hanna and Joseph Barbera and released in theaters by MGM.
Released in theaters.
Yes.
Because all those cartoons back then were like the preamble to the movie you were going to see.
Yep.
I wonder if this is probably on YouTube. I'm going to check out the very first Tom and Jerry cartoon. You remember in the 80s when they made them friends? That was some bullshit.
Well, back in the early ones, they had a couple of them where they worked together. They weren't friends, but they worked together.
Yeah, but in like the 80s version of the cartoon, they were like Yogi and Boo Boo. They were best friends.
Yeah,
I always hated when they brought in like the younger version, and then Tom or Jerry was responsible for watching over the younger version as they got into trouble,
like they did with Scrappy Doo and the Scooby Doo cartoons. Fuck Scrappy. Next one, sir.
1950, Walt Disney animated film Cinderella premieres in Boston, Massachusetts.
Cinderella. It's one of my wife's favorites.
Happy birthday.
Our little kitten Gus is named after Gus from Cinderella. Next one.
1991, Silence of the Lambs, film based on the book by Thomas Harris, directed by Jonathan Demme, and starring Jodie Foster and Anthony Hopkins, released Best Picture 1992.
Ooh, what a follow-up to Cinderella, Silence of the Lambs.
Hey, I just go in your order, that's all.
About a woman trying to find her Prince Charming, except he's a serial killer. Silence of the Lambs is the last picture to win the Big Five. So on Best Picture, Director, Actor, Actress, and Screenplay. And it hasn't been a movie since then that's done that. Next one, sir.
1992, comedy film Wayne's World, starring Mike Myers and Danny Carvey, based on their Saturday Night Live sketch premieres.
I mean, aside from the Blues Brothers, would this be the first Saturday Night Live skit brought into theaters?
No. Actually it was a hit, but like Coneheads came out.
Well, Blues Brothers came out in 1980, right. And it was a success. Yeah. They didn't do another Saturday Night Live movie based on a sketch until Wayne's World.
That's what I was asking. Yeah.
Yeah, there was 13 years or so between the two films, and Wayne's World was such a monster that they were like, all right, let's make everything
else. They did the Coneheads. They did
Coneheads. You had
they did
Superstar.
They did the Tim, not Robbins, Tim.
Oh, the Tim Meadows character.
Tim Meadows character, the Ladies
Man. Yeah, they had one for Stuart Saves His Family. They had Night at the Roxbury. Yep. It's Pat had his own movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
We talked about this. We did a episode on the 50th anniversary of Saturday Night Live where we talked about the best Saturday Night Live movies based on skits and the worst Saturday Night Live movies based on skits.
They only had two good. So
yeah, it basically came down to like Wayne's World and Blues Brothers were the best, and everything else took a shit, including Wayne's World 2. Next one, sir.
1993 comedy film Groundhog Day opens across the U.S. starring Bill Murray and Andy McDowell. Directed by Harold Ramis.
You think this would be an interesting one to do a recasting for?
I think
it's a short cast.
I think they should remake this one. Say they're remaking it and just re-release it.
That'd be great. That's the perfect way to market it. we're doing a reboot of Groundhog's Day, but we're not telling you who the cast is or anything about the story. And then you go to the theater and see it, and it's Bill Murray, Andy McDowell, and everybody else. I would like to see a recasting of it with Andy McDowell's daughter as the Andy McDowell character, Mark Qualley. Next one.
This next one's for Kevin. 2015, the film 50 Shades of Grey, released based on the erotic novel by E.L. James, starring Dakota Johnson and Jamie Dornan, directed by Sam Taylor Johnson.
Book was
This
better.
movie is a piece of shit.
Book was better.
Even Dakota Johnson and Jamie Dornan knew the movie was a piece of shit when they were making it.
And yet they made 2 more.
Yeah, and you know what?
Well, you throw enough money in front of somebody.
Dakota Johnson is just reserved to realize that anything she's asked to be in will be shit. She's collecting a paycheck anyway,
and she's not afraid to admit it either. Like
The
that's
only
what I love about
successful
her. I
movie she's
love
been in-
her. Yeah, I love her interviews.
the only successful movie I can recall her being in was The Social Network, and she was in for 5 seconds.
5 seconds. Oh yeah, she's the guy the woman that Justin Timberlake sleeps with.
Yeah,
I think like a film that I like, and I think she gives a good performance in it is One Night at the Grand Royale, or something. I think it's called the Grand Royale or something like that. It's like a weird mystery, like murder mystery film that Bad Times at the El Royale, and Chris Hemsworth's in it. She's in it, and Josh Brolin. It's a pretty good movie. But otherwise, I love her interviews, especially like Madame Web, where they were like, "Why'd you do this film?" And she's like, "They paid me $9 million." It's like, thank you for your honesty, Dakota. Last one you got there, sir.
2016 Marvel superhero film Deadpool, starring Ryan Reynolds, is released.
A movie that Adrian still hasn't watched because she can't get past the sex scene montage.
Yeah, you can't get past the calendar girl scene. I love
I love my calendar girl. Happy Independent Women's Day.
Be gentle.
Nope. The first Deadpool's great. Mike, I know you and I saw this.
Where
in
are you
the theater
hiding that
together.
ring?
Have you? I don't think you came with us to that. Mike and
I know I had seen that with somebody else.
But yeah, oh man, the Deadpool movies are great. All right, so we're moving on to a little bit of beer news here.
Kevin's here, he's here for beer. He's got news, it's beer news with Kevin.
Oh, gentlemen.
So you're not doing the one you sent me the other night?
I can if you'd like. I just, you were like, oh, don't poke the bear.
I said I don't care. I just don't want to be the catalyst that starts the Civil War in this country.
Yeah, because that would do it. That's going to be the catalyst.
Our little podcast is the thing that tips the edge.
Okay, I must have missed something on this one then.
Kevin sent me an article the other night about a beer. It was named for Donald Trump, but not in a good way. It was called like, what was it called? It was like,
it was, hold on.
The beer was called like,
Megan.
If You Hate Nazis.
It's called Imagine Nazis, but dumber and incompetent, but like incomprehensibly dumber and unfathomably more incompetent. And it was a hazy IPA, which was 6.5% alcohol by volume. From Participation Trophy Brewing.
Kevin sent it to me. He's like, should I put this on the beer news? And I was like, listen, you can do what you want, man, but I don't want to be the catalyst for the spark of the Civil War in this country. And I'm like,
well, I mean, we're not a political show. Let's just stay out of that realm.
I heard comedian Shane Gillis talking about him the other day, and he goes, listen, whether you like the guy or not, whether you're Republican or Democrat, you have to admit he's pretty fucking funny. And then he goes, just listen to his debates. And he talks about the time he was debating with Ted Cruz, and he's like, Ted Cruz's wife is ugly. All right, so let's move past the politics and talk about the Phillies dropping one of their players.
Yes, it's a sad day. Sad day. I'm happy to see pitchers and catchers back at spring break, but We lost one of our own today, gentlemen. Nick Castellanos is out, and the story I'm going to read, I don't know if it played a part, but I know that this was something that he had just admitted to, bringing a beer into the Phillies dugout. So, Nick Castellanos' time with the Philadelphia Phillies came to an end on Thursday, February 12th, with his release as the team began to gather for spring training. The former Phillies outfielder wasted no time in penning a 4-page handwritten letter, which he shared on his Instagram account following the news of his release. In the letter, Castellanos addressed Philadelphia fans and made an admission about the event that led to his eventual release. Okay, so it did, which he called the Miami incident. As a veteran of the game of baseball, where there are rules, and I broke one in Miami, Castellanos wrote. After being taken out of a close ball game in front of my friends and family, I brought a Presidente beer into the dugout, and then I sat right next to Rob and let him know that that too much slack in some areas and too tight of restrictions in others are not conductive to us winning. Castellanos said his teammates prevented him from taking a sip. The incident Castellanos refers to happened on June 16th and 25 in a game against National League East rivals Miami Marlins. During the 5-2 game win, the Phillies win over the Marlins, manager Rob Thompson removed Castellanos in the 8th inning for defensive replacement Johan Rojas. With Castellanos being from Davie, Florida, just over 20 miles from Marlins Park, he took exception with being removed from the game. The next day, Thompson and the Phillies announced Castellanos was being benched for making an inappropriate comment. One of the many things about Nick that I love is that he's very emotional, Thompson said. He loves to play. He loves to play every inning of every game. I just thought last night he made an inappropriate comment after he came out, so today he's not going to play. And I'm going to leave it at that. Castellanos revealed on February 12th that it was not only his comment, but also his actions that led to his benching. Despite the troubles near the end of his Phillies career, he showed appreciation to the city and the fans in part of the letter he shared on social media. To the people of the city, thank you for showing up for the past 4 years. Castellanos wrote, applauding or booing, you were there. And
So,
that's
I'd like to add an addendum to that like the Phillies were already looking to try to trade him earlier last season.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And there were no takers on the trade. And so I think they were kind of like planning on letting him go at some point anyway. And this just kind of like added to it a little bit. But I think he was already like on the chopping block.
Yeah.
He's just high priced.
He's high priced and he didn't have a good season. So I think they were just trying to like, So, it's funny though, this made me think of another yeah. This made me think of another benching story. It's one of my favorite benching stories. Remember Scott Rowland? He played for the Phillies, third baseman.
Mm-hmm.
They had a Scott Rowland day at the stadium, and Terry Francona was the coach at the time, and he decided to rest Scott Rowland on Scott Rowland Day. And so he rested him that Sunday. They were giving out bobbleheads. It was like a whole big deal, and they rested him. And the former coach was Larry Boa. And in an interview, somebody said, Larry, we wanted to get your opinion on Terry Francona deciding to rest Scott Rowland on Scott Rowland Day. And Larry Boa, who didn't have a good relationship with Scott Rowland, went, Scott Rowland has a day?
Well, he went to Washington National. He was a pain in the ass anyway after he left.
Who's Scott Rowland?
Yeah.
He went to, who did he end up playing with? It wasn't the Nationals.
Wasn't it Washington?
No, I think he ended up with the Dodgers. I think he ended up playing with the Dodgers.
I thought that was Chase Utley was with the Dodgers.
Utley, yeah, Chase Utley was the Dodgers. You're right. No, I don't remember where he went. Oh, the Reds.
Oh,
he went to the Cincinnati Reds. Yeah, and I think that's where he ended his career. Anyway, moving on. So that was the sports segment. That was our sports segment for the evening.
Are you guys Heine fans? I'm not a huge one. I'll drink one, but I don't think I'm going to look for one.
No,
I don't mind those like light body German beers like that. Like that Heineken's not bad. So
Well, unfortunately, they're finding the need to cut 6,000 jobs because demand for their beer falters. I'm going to cut this short because it's a Reuters article, and they tend to be a little long-winded. No, they tend to be thorough. I'm sorry, let me change that. They tend to be thorough.
Yeah, don't knock
they
one of the
cover it.
largest
No,
Associated
no.
Press
I
industries in the
understand
country.
they are one of the best press.
In case we ever get interviewed by readers one day, I want to be able to.
But yeah, no, I'm, and what I like is I have a summary. I'm going to give you the summary. They cut jobs. Job cuts amounted to almost 7% of the Heineken global workforce. Executives are saying that they will strengthen business and fund growth. Heineken lowered the range for 2026 profit growth versus 2025. Brewers may face challenges from weak demand due to the bad weather, and it's expected that their shares will rise 3.5%. So the shares go up, their unemployment rate goes up, and there's that.
And everybody's happy.
Well, I think there might be about 6,000 people who are disappointed by it.
A few people aren't happy, but it's the way it goes. And last story you got there, sir.
And seeing as how we are a film and fermentation podcast, I'm going to bring up a article about old school beer brand and Paul Newman.
What's that?
Excuse me.
You okay there, sir? What the hell was that?
That was something. Yeah.
You grabbed your chest. I thought you were having a heart attack. I was like, shit.
No, it's
call the boy. We need a replacement. Call the boy.
Hair boy.
Wait, let me pause real quick so we can call 911. So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. In the culinary world, Paul Newman is perhaps best remembered for his salad dressings. During the height of his fame, the actor was well known as a big drinker, a habit he struggled with over his lifetime. Princeton students even named him an annual drinking binge after him. Newman managed to give up hard liquor in the early 1970s, but his passion for beer remained. Although it wasn't widely publicized during this time frame, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Excuse me, guys. I'm coughing up a lung here. Drink what little water I have. Yeah. Although it wasn't widely publicized during his lifetime, he would drink as many as 10 beers a day. Wow. The San Francisco Chronicle even mentioned his love of the brew. In his obituary, his favorite brand was a German lager called St. Pauli Girl. When asked what he was drinking for the holiday during a 1968 Town and Country interview, Newman listed St. Pauli Girl by name, saying it was good enough to be my favorite for the rest of the year. It's good enough for a special occasion. St. Pauli Girl had only been introduced to the U.S. market in 1965, so he had become smitten with it pretty quickly. Named for St. Pauli's Friary in Germany, and the brewery built next to it, St. Pauli Girl was advertised as being brewed according to the Reinheitsgebot. Reinheitsgebot. There we go. These German purity laws, written in 1516, governed by the production of its beer, the ingredients, and its price. St. Pauli's Girl is brewed with a special strain of yeast, as well as glacier water and German hops. Yep, that's it.
St. Pauli's Girl, not an official sponsor of Films and Fermentation.
No, but I don't think I've ever tried it. I don't think I've ever had it.
I feel like I may have had it like a long time ago, but I could not recall if I ever did, really did or not.
Mm-hmm.
I got one movie update for this week. I don't know why I have a theme song because I never get to use it because my movie updates have been very sad most times, including this week's movie update. James Vanderbeek of Dawson Creek and Varsity Blues fame passed away as of the recording of this episode. I believe it was yesterday, which was February 11th. He was 48 years old. He lost his life after a long battle with colorectal cancer that he was diagnosed with back in 2024. always sad when a young actor.
Well, that means there's only what 3 of the 4 of the Varsity Blue guys are dead.
Yeah, I saw somebody posted that. There's yeah, I don't remember who the other 2 guys were that passed. So yeah, there's only 1 actor still left from like the main 4 characters in that movie.
John Voight's still alive.
No, Voight's still alive, and 3 of the 4 other actors from Dawson Creek are still alive.
Amy Smart's still alive.
Yeah,
Ellie Larder.
Larder is, but the 4 main like football players from Varsity Blues, of the 4 main guys, there's 1 that's still left.
Had a good
that was pretty
soundtrack,
sad.
too.
Yeah, I actually recently saw they had a Dawson's Creek reunion thing recently. He was too sick to attend it, so they had him like video into the crowd that was there, and I remember like he looked really poor in that video, and I was like, wow, he's struggling. So I don't want to say it came as a shock, but I don't want to say it wasn't shocking either, because it was just it's always sad when a younger person passes like that, especially since that younger person's the same age as me.
Yeah.
Let's talk about a much tried crafter beer now.
We're going to talk about Anchor Old Foghorn. Anchor Brewing Company, San Francisco, California, 8.7 ABV. Named for the deep growl of a ship's horn cutting through San Francisco's fog, Anchor Old Foghorn was inspired by Fritz Maytag's discovery of English barley wines and well-hopped pale ales. Introduced in 1975, became one of America's first modern barley wines, blending English tradition with assertive American hop character. Brewed with pale and crystal malts, Old Foghorn uses only the first running from the mash, creating a dense, concentrated wort. Generously cascade hops deliver around 65 IBUs. The beer matures for up to 10 months before release, and though pasteurized, it continues to evolve in the bottle, awarding those who cellar it for years. In the glass, it pours a burnished mahogany with a rich aroma of apricot, raisins, and malt loaf. Underscored.
Oh my god! I think the bad elf has already hit me, because I could have sworn it said meatloaf for a second.
No, it's malt loaf. Underscored by firm, tangy hops, the palate builds with layers of malt sweetness and ripe fruit before cresting the long, warming finish of plump grapes and lingering bitterness. I just can't.
Meatloaf.
Meatloaf has just got me. Like God,
has hints of meatloaf and barnyard funk.
I
would do anything for beer,
motherfucker.
But I won't drink that. You corned beef drinking
motherfucker.
I was hoping this beer was named after Foghorn Leghorn. That's a mighty good beer.
That's all, folks.
That's all, folks. We'll be right back after this brief trailer for the 1990 film Dick Tracy, in which we'll be returning with our recasting of that film. We'll be right back.
Tracy! It's like he's reading my mind.
Extra! Tracy Battles mom!
I'm taking this bum out of the headlines. I'm rubbing him out.
Hey, Tracy, watch out!
You take Tracy to me. I say we kill Tracy now.
You challenge me, we all go down!
Ash gonna arrest me?
I want to know who killed Lips Manless.
Not the bad, big boy, not the bad!
I know, and I'm gonna miss you. But all's fair in love and business. Whose side are you on?
Side I'm always on. Mine.
What? What's the word out? Lips territory is my territory now! Everything he owns, I own!
Move in and take your positions. Okay, boys, let's go. And you, guilty of attempting to bribe an officer of the law.
She does some nifty undercover work. That Dick Tracy drives you crazy, doesn't he?
All right, that's enough! I want Tracy dead!
Tracy Tracy. Let's get him! Good luck.
You have just said goodbye to oxygen.
Aren't you gonna frisk me?
Stupid cop.
Tracy?
Warren Beatty is Dick Tracy.
All right. So if you didn't figure it out yet from that trailer we just played or from the 8 times we've already mentioned it, we're recasting Dick Tracy tonight.
Tracy.
Tracy. This
Do you
movie
guys
came out.
remember? I'm sorry. I was
Okay.
just going to reminisce and said, do you guys remember wanting that two-way radio watch that they had and how much you'd use it and how cool it would be to have one? And now it's a pain in the ass.
I don't have one.
Yeah.
Tells
Like
me I didn't
everything
make
that
enough steps
comes from
today.
fantasy and sci-fi and it'd be so
Tells
cool
me
to
I didn't
have
make
it.
enough steps today. Tells me,
I don't
I
have
got
one of those.
Junk email.
All the shit that I have, I don't have a watch that talks to me. I'm good.
Yep.
So this movie came out in 1990. I was shocked by this. I actually thought it was a little later than that.
I forgot it was a Walt Disney picture.
Yeah, I forgot it was a Walt Disney picture too until I saw that trailer earlier. 1990 Walt Disney film. It's rated PG, which was shocking because there's a lot of violence in this movie. I kind of thought it would have been like a PG-13 or something.
I remember seeing a bunch of the costumes and stuff on the backlot tour at Hollywood Disney Studios at the time.
I do love
the Hollywood Studios.
There's no longer there.
I do love the costumes and the makeup in this film. Like it's really the different looks for the different villains is really cool. So the movie was directed by Warren Beatty, starring Warren Beatty as the titular Dick Tracy. And I learned this just when I was doing research for this. I was like, it should have made sense to me because then when I rewatched the film, I saw it. Music by Danny Elfman. And it's not shocking because it sounds just like the Batman soundtrack from the 1 year before, 1989. It was nominated for Best Costume Design, Best Sound Effect, Best Art Direction, Best Cinematography. It won the Oscar for Best Music Original Score from Stephen Sondheim for the song Sooner or Later, I Always Get My Man, which was sung by Madonna in the film. It won the Oscar for Best Makeup, which it definitely deserved. But it had one other very special Oscar nomination, one that to this day I still can't believe actually happened. Al Pacino was nominated for Best Supporting Actor for his role in this film. For this batshit crazy performance that is like, take away the makeup and it's his devil character from Devil's Advocate. Like he got nominated for this. He almost won that year too. This is the year, I believe this is the year Pesci got for Goodfellas, maybe. So
the only thing that was missing from that was Brothers Mahoney has a great ass.
She got a great ass. And you got your head all the way up it.
So the IMDb synopsis: the comic strip detective finds his life vastly complicated when Breathless Mahoney takes advances towards him while he is trying to battle Big Boy Caprice's united mob. My quick synopsis is: all Tess Trueheart wants is to settle down to a quiet life with her boyfriend, Detective Dick Tracy. But there's something pretty rotten going on in town with someone pretty rotten behind it. Tracy has his hands full with the likes of the villain Big Boy Caprice and the almost irresistible Breathless Mahoney. Hear your tagline for the film: their turf, their game, their rules. They didn't count on his law. Sounds like a fucking Van Damme movie.
I am the law.
I am the law. And then the other tagline is "I'm on my way," which is a line oft repeated by Dick Tracy in the film. The budget for the film is $47 million, which I thought was really low considering the cast in this film. But there must have been a lot of like day trading going on because most of these guys are like in the film for 5 minutes. And like James Caan walked in, got a $500,000 paycheck and walked out. Gross domestic was $103 million plus. Worldwide, it made $162 million. So it was actually a pretty decent hit in 1990. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to recast the film for a modern audience. and we decided that we are going to be recasting for the 5 main characters, which are Dick Tracy, who was played by Warren Beatty in the original film, Tess Trueheart, who was played by Glenna Headley in the original film, Big Boy Caprice, who was played by Al Pacino, Breathless Mahoney, who was played by Madonna, and 88 Keys, who was played by Mandy Patinkin. And then we decided we were going to do 3 assorted villains / side characters of our choosing. So each of us got to choose 1 character. I did 5. Don't worry. I went overboard too. So Kevin did 1.5. No, that's fine. That's fine. It doesn't have to be a lot. I was.
If I did the boy, he's not a full actor, so or the kid.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking of a couple of different characters, and then as I was casting them, I was like, well, you know what? I have somebody I think would be good for this. So I got the 5, and I was like, all right, I gotta fucking stop. Because I gotta do all the characters if I want it. So how should we start? Should we just go right down the line? Just start with Dick Tracy? Because that's the big thing anyway. It's all about Dick Tracy, really. Everybody else is just a supporting character.
Not really. I think Al Pacino was the big thing.
Al Pacino. Well, Al Pacino, basically went to a buffet on every scene he was in. I love his lines where he would quote something and it was a totally misinterpreted quote, and then he would just say a random historical figure at the end. He's like, the best way to kill 2 birds is with, 3 cows. Lincoln. I forgot the one he said. It was really funny. He was like, I think. Therefore, and he just said something really stupid, and then he's like, Benjamin Franklin. My other favorite Al Pacino line in the film is at the end when he's with Tess and he's got her tied to the sprocket in the bridge.
The bridge.
Tied to the gears, and he's like, "Can't you tell that I love you?"
I had nothing to do with this. You should tell him that. Tell him I had nothing to do with this.
Wait. I'm having a thought. It's gone. Yeah, he really is the best part of the film. Anyway, Dick Tracy, played by Warren Beatty in the original film. Warren Beatty was very passionate about getting this made because it was a comic strip that he was a fan of from his childhood, and he had been trying to get it made for a long time. Eventually, when it did get made, he was probably a little old for the role. He was in his 50s at this point. But I still think he looked the part because he had the jawline that you need for a character like this, and the serious acting skills for it. So when I did my casting for this, I casted it based on the jawline. I don't know how you guys did your casting, but I cast based on the jawline.
A little.
I definitely based on the jawline and the physique.
Yeah. So I'm going to give mine first because I have a feeling at least one of you might have chose this guy. So my casting for Dick Tracy, Henry Cavill.
Oh, good call.
There's a jawline and a physique there.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good-looking man, and I know he can do an American accent.
Yes.
Make trench coat that he's wearing a little lighter, and you got it.
I actually, when I did my Google search for the pictures, I wrote Henry Cavill, Dick Tracy, and it brought up that picture. So I guess that was the closest I can get to it. So Mike, why don't you go next? Who did you choose?
I chose Oscar Isaac.
Oh, that's a good one.
Ooh, nice.
I like Oscar Isaac a lot, and he's got that jawline. He definitely has the jawline.
Yeah, and it gives a more mysterious vibe to him with the.
Yeah, and even though he's a Latino actor, he can get away with playing somebody who's not. He played Frankenstein recently. Just to give you an example of it.
Yeah.
Kev, who do you got?
I went with Alan Ritchson. A little unconventional.
Man.
He was in Reacher, and
He's in the Reacher series.
Yeah.
Dude, I am in awe of that man's physique. That dude is just jacked.
Yeah.
I love the Reacher series, man. He's so good in it. It's such a fun series. He was in a Guy Ritchie movie recently called the Department of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
Mm-hmm.
And he was really good in that. Yeah, Alan Ritchson's a good one. Yeah, he's not somebody I I don't know, like if his name is as well known right now as some of the other actors that we chose, but he definitely fits the character. Let me here, I'm gonna bring up an image of him. Because again, like I'm in awe of this fucking man's physique. Hold on.
And he kind of has that. He can do that squinty look, with the jawline.
He do that squinty look. Yeah, the jawline. It's, again, for me, like I based mine on the jawline. Here he is. Like, that's fucking ridiculous. Come on. That's not human. Like I can't believe he hasn't played a Marvel character yet.
Yeah.
Hey, his abs are not quite Finn Balor though.
Well, I mean, not many people have a Finn Balor.
He did have a very short stint as a DC hero in on Smallville. He played.
Yeah, wasn't he Aquaman?
Arthur. Yeah,
he was Aquaman. He was a lot smaller then, and by a lot smaller, he was still fucking jacked. So the next character, then, let me write these down so I don't forget. I have Henry Cavill. Mike had Oscar Isaac. So I really like that one. And Kevin had Alan Richson, which unconventional, but I really like that pick. And I actually thought at least one of you guys would have had Henry Cavill as well.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I should mention I finished that Mad Elf really quickly, and I moved on to another beer. I'm drinking. Kevin, I think this is from you as well. Weyerbacher Quad Belgian style quadruple ale, which is also 11% alcohol by volume. So yes, I'm off tomorrow. It's awesome. Anyway,
if we really want to go jawline, I almost went with Josh Brolin.
Well, that's a good one too.
Yeah, that'll work.
That's a man with a fucking jawline.
Yeah,
yeah, that's a good one too. I think he could probably have done a lot of like the superhero actors, like Chris Hemsworth probably could have played the role. Chris Evans probably could have played the role, because they all have those physiques and jawlines. I like our choices though.
Yeah, I did.
The next one I have here is Tess Trueheart, who was played by Glenna Headley in the original film. All right, guys, I don't know if this is a hot take or not, but if I had my choice between Tess and Breathless, I would have taken Tess.
Yeah.
I was much more Glenna Headley than Madonna.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, Tess, let's just keep going in this order. I like how it's going. So I'll go first. This was the one I had the hardest time with. And then recently I watched a new movie just came out, Sam Raimi film called Send Help, starring Rachel McAdams. It's a really, really good movie.
Fuck you.
Yeah, I said it's a really, really good movie. And I was like, you know what? I think that would work. So I looked up her name on Google, and one of the first images that popped up is one that's a very Tess Trueheart image.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you.
So I took Rachel McAdams, somebody who I love anyway. And Mike, I'm assuming you have Rachel McAdams.
I took Rachel McAdams.
All right, man. We're not competing tonight. We're just giving our cast. It's actually kind of cool that somebody else thought of who I thought of. So Mike,
I was thinking her too, but I went in a different direction. I chose Margaret Qualley.
Yeah, I love Margaret Qualley.
So
Margaret Qualley, the daughter of Andie MacDowell.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody who I believe is a much better actress than Andie MacDowell. Now it actually works though too, because like Alan Richson is a little on the younger side, as is Margaret Qualley.
Mm-hmm.
Mike and I both chose an actress who is closer in age range to Henry Cavill.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have the big span of years between characters like you do in like Madonna was 30, I think, when she did that movie, and Warren Beatty was 57. So I mean, like you got a little bit of a distance there.
A little bit.
So yeah, I like both of all those picks. Yeah. All right, here's the big one: Big Boy Caprice, the villain, played by Al Pacino, who gained 50 pounds eating scenery in that movie. He was so over it. He was, and you could tell he was enjoying himself, but this was kind of like the start of caricature Al Pacino that he would become later in life. It feels like he acted as Big Boy Caprice and then never stopped acting like Big Boy Caprice. I saw a video today. It was kind of funny. It was his Oscar win for Scent of a Woman, which came a couple years after this. And it was his 7th nomination, and he had lost the previous 6. This is his only Oscar. He gets up on stage. He receives the award. He looks out at the crowd. He goes down to the microphone and he goes, you broke my streak. And I was like, that was a very funny, like self-aware joke. I really kind of appreciated that. But yeah, he's a hard one to replace, but I really like the one I came up with. So speaking of like off the board, unconventional picks, I went with this guy who recently won an Emmy for the Netflix miniseries Adolescence as a writer of the series as well as one of the stars, and had already previously played a gangster because he was Al Capone in Boardwalk Empire. So I went with British actor who can play an American gangster, Stephen Graham.
Yeah.
So I think if you ever watch Boardwalk Empire, his interpretation of Al Capone was like Big Boy Caprice minus the scene chewing. You know, like he was a little off kilter. He was very funny. He had the Chicago accent down really well, so he was like really, really good. And I thought, like, oh, you know what? If I'm going to go unconventional, this is where I'm going unconventional. I'm going Stephen Graham. So, Mike, who do you got? You look like you were really happy.
I'm really happy with my pick because this guy, I think, can be over the top, can chew up scenery if he needs to, and can play this role to the T. I'm going Colin Farrell.
That's a good one. Colin Farrell.
That's good, especially after he gets off from playing the Penguin.
Yeah, like this would be like the Penguin if he had a sense of humor.
Exactly.
I like that. That's a good one. The Penguin.
Yeah.
You know he can act in a bodysuit.
Yes, he can.
Good one. I actually almost went with Al Pacino again, reprising the role, but as an older version of it. I thought about making Al Pacino Lips Manlin, the guy that Big Boy Caprice kills at the beginning of the movie. It was played by Paul Sorvino. So, Kev, who do you got for Big Boy?
Well, this one is one who has impressed me as a mob boss as of recently. He is terrifying, but I'm sure he could lighten it a little bit. I went with Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yeah.
That's a really fucking good one. He could play it like Kingpin if he was mixed with Edgar, the bug guy from Men in Black.
Sugar water.
In
water.
That's a good man. That's a really good one. That's a really, really good one. I need to write these down so I don't forget them. So Mike had Colin Farrell, which I really like, and Kevin had what's his name? Vincent D'Onofrio.
Vincent D'Onofrio.
That is a really good one. That's a really good one. All right, now here's the one. I had a lot of fun with this one. Breathless Mahoney. It's the easiest one, baby. I thought this was right off the bat. I knew who I wanted for this. Breathless Mahoney, who was played by Madonna in the original film. Again, there was a little bit of an age gap, so I didn't mind casting this person as my Breathless Mahoney. When I thought about it, I was like, yeah, there's only one person I think could play this role. Sydney Sweeney.
Oh.
I'm like, yeah, right there. I did originally think of somebody else. I'm not going to say who it is in case either of you guys shares it. But yeah, this is the one I went with right away. I was like, Sydney Sweeney. That's my Breathless.
I went right away with Margot Robbie.
Oh, there's another good one. Another good one.
I was ready for you.
Yeah, I was actually like, I'm going to say this off the bat. I know whenever we do these recasting, I always try really hard to get either Donald Glover or Ana de Armas in my cast somewhere. And I managed not to use either of them tonight. Sydney Sweeney, and now we have Margot Robbie. I'm happy with both of those. Evan, make me even happier.
Well, I don't know if I'll make you even happier, but I kind of felt I needed somebody who was also a musician, a singer. Not
Lady
that either
Gaga?
one of those two. I thought Lady Gaga. I actually thought Beyonce.
Oh, okay. No, that's cool because that's a if we wanted to do like a little bit of a diversification of the cast,
that I think she's
really
acted enough. She's acted
She's
enough
acted
that
in other
she can do it.
films,
She can
yeah.
pull it off, and she perform her own music.
I thought of Lady Gaga at first because I felt like she was the 2025 like
Mm-hmm.
like amalgam of what Madonna was in the 90s. So
A little out there, a little experimental.
yeah, and can pull
risk
off.
taker. Yeah.
And she's done films.
Yeah. Yep. So I mean, I had
I was
thought
like,
of her, but I thought, who else what other musicians have acted that could fill that role?
yeah, ultimately I went with who I went with because I don't care if she could sing or not. They could dub her voiceover as long as I get to stare at her for 2 hours. I'm fine.
That's what I said about Margot.
All right. So the last main character we have here is 88 Keys, who was played by Mandy Patinkin. He's the piano player who betrays Tracy and goes working with Big Boy Caprice. He's the piano player for Madonna's character. I went with an actor. So this is where I decided to diversify my cast a little bit. I went with an actor who I've seen in a few films. I like him. He's in a Spike Lee movie that I really like called Black Klansman. His name is John David Washington. He is the son of Denzel Washington. And I chose him because he actually can play piano. So he would be able to play the character as well as play the music if needed. And it gives my cast a little bit of diversity.
Mm-hmm.
So, Mike, who do you got?
I have Rami Malek.
Rami Malek.
Yeah, Rami Malek.
You have the man who won the Oscar for playing Freddie Mercury.
As the piano player.
Although I prefer him as Amon Ra in The Night at the Museum. But yeah, all right, so Rami Malek as 88 Keys. I don't know. I know like some of the singing was dubbed in Bohemian Rhapsody. I don't know if he played the piano or not. But I don't know if he played the piano or not. So I mean, I guess he could pull it off since he already did that in Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
Gives you a little diversity in your cast too. He's Egyptian.
Yeah, I got him and Oscar Isaac. So
and you got Oscar Isaac, yeah. Kev, who do you have?
I have Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling.
I think I thought of La La Land when
I was gonna say
thinking of the piano and singing and such.
Mm-hmm. It's a cool one, and he can play that sort of like. He's got a lot. I mean, he's actually got a pretty decent range.
yeah.
He often gets like typecast as like a pretty boy or like a goofy comedic character, but he's actually got pretty decent range.
I'm looking forward to Hail Mary.
This is how much this beer is hitting me right now. Instead of typing in Ryan Gosling, I typed in La La Land. Okay, so now we have random cast. We were able to pick at least 3 characters that we wanted to recast for this. I picked 5. Mike has 4. Kevin has 1.5. So it averages out. So let's see. So the first one I got here, I chose Mumbles. Anybody else do Mumbles?
No. Oh.
No, Mike didn't do Mumbles. Well, I thought Mumbles because Mumbles is, that's such a fun character because it's the Dustin Hoffman character.
Mm-hmm.
Libbo did it.
We just says things really quickly, and yeah.
I like his laugh. So for Mumbles, I went with Mr. Mumbles, a man who's made a career as a mumbler. Tom Hardy. As my Mumbles. So Kev, since you chose Mumbles, who did you do?
I chose Barry Keoghan.
Barry Keoghan. Who played he was in the Eternals.
Mm-hmm.
He was in Banshees of Inisherin.
Mm-hmm.
He was in Saltburn, where he showed his dick in 80% of the movie. He's going to be playing Ringo Starr in the Beatles biopic that's coming out next year.
Which I think is good casting.
Yeah, that's a good casting. I think he's a good choice for Ringo Starr. And I like him for Mumbles, too.
Mm-hmm.
So, Mike, give me one of the characters you chose.
Flat Top.
Flat Top. I have Flat Top as well. And Kevin has Flat Top.
Mm-hmm.
Good. So, Mike, why don't you give us your Flat Top?
William Dafoe.
William Dafoe is Flat Top.
Mm.
I think William Dafoe could be a good Mumbles, too.
He could be anything.
He'd be good at anything. He'd be good Big Boy Caprice. You imagine that? He'd be talking to himself in the mirror, turning into the goblin. So flat top, we got Willem Dafoe. I have for flat top. You're gonna like this, Kev. Barry Keoghan. Barry Keoghan is my flat top. Who do you have, Kev?
Barry Keoghan.
I have Jesse Plemons.
Oh, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really good one. Jesse Plemons got his start on Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad.
It was recently in the film Civil War. He was in Begonia with Emma Stone this year. He is married to Kirsten Dunst.
I always feel he looks like a mix between Matt Damon and Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah, he definitely has that Philip Seymour Hoffman look to him.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely see that. I'm gonna bring up a picture of him. Hold on a sec. So Jesse Plemons, he's a really good actor. He's in one scene in Civil War with Kirsten Dunst, and it's such a scary scene. He plays such a psychopath.
He's talking. He's asking if people are American.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's so scary in that scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there he is, right there. He was a fucking scumbag in Breaking Bad.
Mm-hmm.
Kills the kid.
It was funny. It was funny,
yeah.
but I liked his episodes in Black Mirror too.
Oh, he was
Where
the captain in the
captain, yeah.
Was it the Callister episode or whatever it's called?
Yep.
The spaceship one. Yeah, he was an asshole in that one too.
Mm-hmm.
Poor guy got typecast to be an asshole. As far as I can tell, he's a pretty nice guy. My next character, so we got Mumbles, Flat Top. I did the corrupt mayor character who was played by Dick Van Dyke in the film.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody do the mayor? All right, good. So for the mayor, I decided to diversify my cast again. And for the mayor, I chose Samuel L. Jackson because he already dresses like a Dick Tracy character.
Alrighty.
And I thought it'd be funny to have him in the movie there. So Kev, give me one of your other characters, the other character you chose.
My last character is Prune Face.
Oh yeah, I didn't do him. That's the one.
Nope. Who am either?
And I mean, look, there's so much cosmetics on this guy, so much makeup. I went with Jonathan Majors.
So the guy that played Kang.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jonathan Majors. Yeah. He's one of those characters. Like there's two characters in the original film that look almost exactly the same, and it's Prune Face and another guy. And like I always confuse the two characters, the brow, because they look exactly the same. Because there's so much prosthetics and all. So yeah, it could honestly be anybody. So Mike and I both have. So I have two more characters. Mike has one more character. So Mike, who's the other one? Oh, you got. You got other characters we didn't choose.
Yeah.
So give me one of your other characters then.
Lips Mantis.
Oh, Lips Mantis. That was played by Paul Zervino in the original film. I don't have him. So who do you have for Lips?
Paul Giamatti.
That's a good one. That's really funny. Yeah, Lips Manlis is in like 10 minutes of the film.
Yeah.
Before he gets cement poured on
him. The cement bath.
And gets to sleep with the fishes. But that's a good one. Paul Giamatti. I like that one. I have the Rodent.
I don't have that one either.
So the Rodent was like a character has kind of like a rat looking face. For the Rodent, I went with Paul Dano, who, God bless him, already kind of looks like a rat. Actually, I think Paul Dano and Barry Keoghan could like take turns playing Flat Top and a rat.
I guess at least the last two then, huh?
Yeah. So who's your other two? I have one more.
Okay, I have Itchy and Shoulders.
I don't have either of those guys. So give me Itchy and Shoulders.
Itchy, Sam Rockwell.
Okay.
And Shoulders, Dave Bautista.
He already has the shoulders.
Exactly.
Batista. I'm good with Batista in any movie. So my last character, I did the kid, who was played by Charlie Cosmo in the original film. And for the kid, I decided to not only, so I have my diversity cast earlier in the film. So for this one, I decided to do the gender swap. So for the kid, I casted Nell Fisher, who just became pretty famous after the last season of Stranger Things.
Okay.
You know, she's the age range. She's 11 years old, so she would be the same age as the actor from the original film. And I thought it'd be fun to have a little like smart mouth girl following Dick Tracy around and seeing how that goes. All right. That went pretty well. I think we all had some really good choices for this. I actually thought this was one of the easier recasts that we've ever done. So Dick Tracy, I had Henry Cavill, Mike had Oscar Isaac, and Kevin had Alan Richardson. For Tess, Mike and I both had Rachel McAdams, and Kevin had Margaret Qualley. For Big Boy Caprice, I had Stephen Graham, Mike had Colin Farrell, and Kevin had Vincent D'Onofrio. That's a really good one there.
It is.
For Breathless Mahoney, I had Sydney Sweeney, Mike had Margot Robbie, and Kevin had Beyonce. For 88 Keys, I had John David Washington, Mike had Rami Malek, and Kevin had Ryan Gosling, whereas I originally put in my notes La La Land. I did Mumbles as well as Kevin. I had Tom Hardy for Mumbles. Kevin had Barry Keoghan. For Flat Top, I had Barry Keoghan. Mike had Willem Dafoe, and Kevin had Jesse Plemons. I did the Corrupt Mayor. I had Samuel L. Jackson. Kevin did Prune Face. He has Jonathan Majors. I did The Rodent, who I had Paul Dano for. And I did The Kid, who I had Nell Fisher for. Mike did Lips Manless. So he had Paul Giamatti. Itchy, Sam Rockwell, and Shoulders, Dave Bautista. So I think overall we had a pretty decent recast for this. That was a fun one. I like that. All right. Mike, do you have a beer history for us tonight?
I do. Traditional beer songs have long played a role in social life, reflecting both celebration and sorrow. In the British Isles, pub songs became a cherished tradition with favorites like Danny Boy and the Wild Rover, inviting patrons to sing in unison and build camaraderie. God, I can't speak. These ballads often tell stories of love, loss, and everyday struggle, echoing the emotions shared over a pint. In Germany, beer hall culture inspired lively sing-alongs at Oktoberfests and other festivals, with catchy refrains and enthusiastic participation. These songs strengthen social bonds and make the experience of enjoying lager and wheat beer all the more memorable.
One of my favorite songs is The Parting Glass. One of those traditional Irish drinking songs.
My favorite drinking song is Barnyard Funk. We have a quote of the week.
The actor should be able to create the universe in the palm of his hand, but he should also know where to find the nearest sandwich. Sir Laurence Olivier.
It was easier back then. They had a commissary on the stage lots. I don't know if they have stuff like that now with films.
I hear Mel Brooks and Cary Grant were often seen at the commissary together.
Yeah, that was a really good story he told. Yeah, Mike, have you seen the Mel Brooks documentary?
Yeah.
He tells a story about he was a big fan of Cary Grant, and he met him on one of the studio lots back in the day, and they went to lunch together, and he had a lot of fun. And then the next day, Cary Grant came looking for him, and they went to lunch again. And it kept happening every day that Cary Grant would take him to lunch, and he goes, every day it got more and more mundane because they were running out of things to talk about. He goes, on the last day, Cary Grant came looking for me. I said, tell him I'm busy.
Wow.
Only Mel Brooks can tell the story, you know. So thank you for joining us tonight, everybody, for episode 227, Recasting Dick Tracy. We hope you enjoyed listening to the episode as much as we enjoyed recording it for you. Don't forget, you can drop us an email at filmsandfermentation.com or visit linktree.com/filmsandfermentation. Find all our social media podcast links. You can watch us on Pod Nation Media Network on Roku or watch us on YouTube and Rumble. You can also join patreon.com/filmsandfermentation to support the show or text us at 904-867-4466. I am feeling pretty buzzed, which is why I forgot to ask, how are our drinks tonight, gentlemen?
Good.
That's
Good.
the best hot tea I've had in a while.
Tea Kevin's had in a long time. I'm feeling pretty good because I've drank 22% alcohol by volume of beer right now between two bottles. So don't forget to stop by the Crossroads between Pickled and Fermented next time around for episode 228. Next week, we're going to be talking about the best physical performers in film. Yet to be decided whether we're just talking about comedy or everything. But we're going to talk about best physical performers. In the meantime, I'm Leo.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Mike.
This has been the Films and Fermentation podcast. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers.